best between 65 degrees to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. The plants do not tolerate prolonged exposure to temperatures below 55 degrees Fahrenheit or above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Cucumbers are grown in either fields or greenhouses. Field-grown cucumber plants are typically started as seeds and are either mechanically or hand-planted. Many commercial operations trains their plants to grow on poles or trellises to keep the fruit suspended. Several training systems are used for trellis growing, but the umbrella system is the most common. In the umbrella system, all the lateral branches are removed as they appear until the main stem reaches a predetermined height. The plant is then allowed to grow more freely so the plant can concentrate on growing fruit rather than height. Some grows plant bush-type varieties and allow the fruit to spread along the ground. To accommodate different harvesting practices, field cucumbers grown for the fresh or sliced market are spaced about 36 to 72 inches apart versus 8 to 10 inches for cucumbers grown for pickling. In contrast to field-grown cucumbers, greenhouse cucumbers are normally established as transplants. Greenhouse cucumber plants have very large leaves and grow vigorously. Each plant is provided 5 to 7 square feet of space and is always grown on a trellis. Greenhouse cucumbers require close monitoring of nutrients to maintain good health and productivity. Excessively acidic with pH below 6. To protect the fruit from frost and to control temperatures in the early and late season, cucumbers can be grown under plastic row covers. The covers can later be dropped and converted into windbreaks to protect the plants from foot traffic and wind damage. Cucumbers are sorted by size and quality and packed in fiberboard cartons. Size classifications represent the number of cucumbers packed in a standard carton. Fruit is generally graded and sized in farm sheds and packed by counts of 30, 32, 36, 40, 42, or 46 per fiberboard carton. Box weights average about 25 to 30 pounds. Yields can range from 2 to 3,000 cartons per acre. High yields have been achieved when favorable field and weather conditions prevail. Thin-skinned English cucumbers that are grown in greenhouses are susceptible to water loss and softening after harvest. Each fruit is individually wrapped in a shrink-wrapped film before packing. Shrink wrapping minimizes moisture loss and extends shelf life. Since each fruit is shrink-wrapped, this crop is very labor-intensive and time-consuming to produce. In this video, we are going to see and talk about cucumber harvesting and how pickles are made in factory and its processing technology that is efficient and meant saves a lot of money. Cucumbers are often eaten as a vegetable, but they are scientifically considered a fruit as they contain enclosed seeds and develop from a flower. Cucumbers, like cantaloupes, squash, pumpkins, and watermelons, are members of the cucurbit family of produce. They are vine crops and can be grown on the ground or on poles or trellises to suspend the fruit. Pickling is defined as the process of preserving a food by either anaerobic fermentation in brine or immersion in vinegar. The resulting food is called a pickle. Pickling can add a special flavor to food by themselves or mixed in with other foods. In our case, we will be talking about pickles made from cucumber. Cucumbers are produced around the world, with the US being the fourth largest producer after China, India, and Russia. In the US, cucumbers are produced in many states across the country. Production is typically performed for certain markets. Thus, some states specialize in fresh cucumbers, whether they are destined to be marketed whole or sliced. Some states specialize in those for pickles, and some produce both. Florida is by far the leading producing state for all types of fresh cucumbers, whereas Michigan is the leading state producing cucumber varieties best suited for pickling. There are more cucumber varieties grown for pickle production than for all combined fresh markets. To meet U.S. consumer demand year-round, Mexico is the primary importer during the winter months. Cucumbers are harvested at a variety of stages, from quite young to mature before seeds reach final maturity and harden. Those that are harvested prior to maturation of seeds are marketed as seedless. Fruit is harvested when uniform length, shape, and diameter are reached and before yellowing appears at the blossom end. In general, harvest length is determined by target market. Typical fruit length in English-type cucumbers for the fresh whole market is 12 to 14 inches. Garden cucumbers destined for the fresh sliced market are harvested at 7.5–8.5 inches, and although no USDA standards exist for mini cucumbers, these fruits are generally harvested when they reach 5 to 8 inches in length. Frequent harvests are necessary because fruits mature quickly. Continued timely harvest keeps the plants in a productive mode, since cucumber plants have a limit to the number of fruits they can support at any one time. Cucumbers destined for the fresh sliced market are hand harvested 1 to 3 times per week, depending on weather and stage of growth. Pickling cucumbers are generally harvested by hand more frequently, or they can be mechanically harvested in larger quantities to free up the land for replanting or rotation to another crop. Cucumbers are inspected in the field prior to harvest for mechanical damage, disease, and cosmetic defects. Unmarketable fruit are pulled from the plants and disked into the soil after harvest is completed. Marketable garden-type following harvest, cucumbers are chilled as quickly as possible to remove field heat. Methods for cooling harvested cucumbers include hydro-cooling with chilled water and forced air cooling. Where sophisticated methods of cooling are not possible, drenching fruit with cold well water is also used as a way to reduce the buildup of respiration heat in bulk containers. Cucumbers are held in chill rooms, but not below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, or the fruit will suffer from pitting and color changes. The fruit is also susceptible to ethylene gas, which is used to ripen green tomatoes. Shippers must be careful not to hold cucumbers near vegetables such as tomatoes, cantaloupes, apples, and peaches, which emit ethylene gases as they ripen. How is pickles processed? A pickled cucumber is a cucumber that has been pickled in a brine, vinegar, or other solution and left to ferment for a period of time by either immersing the cucumbers in an acidic solution or through souring by lacto-fermentation. A pickled cucumber, most often simply called a pickle in the United States and Canada. It is often claimed that pickled cucumbers were first developed for workers building the Great Wall of China, though another hypothesis is that they were first made in the Tigris Valley of Mesopotamia, using cucumbers brought originally from India. 6 basic ingredients are used in making pickles today. Bulk food, cucumber, acids, flavorings, colorants, preservatives, and stabilizers. The primary ingredient used on the cucumber is acetic acid, the key ingredient of vinegar. Vinegar is a sour liquid produced from the fermentation of diluted alcohol products, which yields the organic compound acetic acid. It is used in many cultures as a condiment and preservative. Vinegar, which must be derived from a sugar-containing source in a 2-step process, can be made from a variety of liquids, with the different sources impacting the taste of the pickles. After vinegar, other ingredients commonly used are sugar, salt, flavorings, and colorants. Sugar or artificial sweeteners may also be added to provide a sweetness to offset the vinegar's sour taste. Salt may be added for flavor and to enhance the vinegar's preservative effect. The addition of flavorings in the form of spices and herbs make different types of pickles. For example, dillweed is an aromatic spice used to make all forms of dill pickles. Colorants are not normally needed, given the acceptability of the natural color of pickles, but can help to create a standardized product and overcome the effects of the processing. The pickles are typically placed in glass jars, although cans, plastic bottles, and pouches have also been used. The packing machines are designed to deliver the correct amount of vegetable to each jar. The jars are moved along to a brine filling machine, which fills them with the brine. The pickle brine consists of vinegar, salt, and other materials mentioned previously. This brine is pre-mixed in a large container prior to filling. To ensure an adequate distribution of spices, these are sometimes filled into the jars before the brine. From the filling machine, the jars are capped and moved along for pasteurization. Moved along a conveyor or to a labeling machine. Labels are automatically affixed and the freshness date is stamped on the jar. From here the jars are moved to automatic packing machines, which put them in cardboard boxes. They are transferred to pallets and shipped out to the local retailers. Cucumbers are warm season plants and grow